You want to get right in the middle of the pup ball. Kind of helps float the bait off the bottom. You get your fingers in between it. And there's always a little piece of styrofoam on top of your hook to make sure it's off. Then you take your bait button, put that on there like so. And what that will do is it keeps your pup ball from sliding down, because your pup ball is going to want to slide down. So you tuck that up underneath there like that, and it'll hold your bait up just like that. So you got your bait, your pup ball, and your bait button. And it really, really helps it float real nice.
I'm gonna try a chunk of prawn now. This has been cured in the ProCure's prawn cure. So I'll cut off a little bit of it. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of slide it on the hook. It's a pretty heavy bait. It's pretty solid, but what we're gonna add a little bit of I'm gonna add a bait button to it. What you do is you kind of slap this thing down. There's a little rubber disc that comes out, and you put the hook right through the disc, run it through, pull it in. That's gonna help keep that bait on there from sliding back down off the hook. So, kind of a new product. It's called a bait button. Snag.
Okay.
Yep. The prawn stayed on. The bait button works. It does. Well, it does. That's great.
It really does.
Yeah.
Now when you're dipping your baits,
Where did the idea of that come from?
Well, there's an interesting story about that. I'm actually a dentist.
Oh, okay.
And so for years I was frustrated with bait sliding down when I was steelhead fishing with all the different applications. I go, there's got to be a way. So one day I'm doing a root canal on a patient, and we use these files that we use little rubber discs on.
Oh.
And so I asked my assistant to put one of those on my file. And all of a sudden the light went on, and I go, why wouldn't that work on a hook?
Yeah.
So I could hardly wait to get home, put it on there and go, this works. So we started fishing, trying to put them on with our fingers. Well, that didn't work. The guy said, this doesn't work. So I had to design the dispenser, which makes the application of that onto the hook really easy. So it's a dental product that I converted to a fishing
usable fishing product.
Fishing usable product,
Yeah.
and it just works so well on all kinds of applications.
Well, you kind of look in here. I mean, see that got pushed all the way up here to the barb, and the bait got pushed up, but it didn't go past the barb. So I'm just going to pull it back down, and I'm ready to fish again.
Exactly.
It's a great product, simple idea, but it works.
Yeah.
You know? So for a lot of the bait applications or rubber worm applications or puffball applications, that would work great to keep your product on your hook.
Yeah, because most of the time you don't have to mess around with the bait again. It's just ready to go, cast after cast, drift after drift.
Great idea. Different. I'm going to add some color, taking a puffball. I'm going to put this on the hook, okay? Then we're going to use the bait button to keep that puffball on the hook. Okay, let's try something with a little more color. Maybe you need something a little more loud down there.
All right,
Okay.
give it a try.
Well, might as well. So we got a little bait on there. We got the puffball. We still got the bead. We got the bait button holding that puffball in there. See what happens.
All righty. Ease.
He likes being underneath the boat. He likes the cover.
Yeah.
So he stomp on the boat a little bit. Sometimes he'll kick him out. There you go. Oh. Big key, guys, when the fish goes underneath the boat, aim your rod down so the line doesn't hit the side of the boat and snap off. A nice quality fish there. Okay. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
And slide it to you here. Female, I
It
think.
is, yeah. Lift straight up. Come on, baby. Come on over here. Come to Papa. Take it. Nice job, Bill.
All righty.
Good job. Yes.
Nice.
Hey, guess what?
That was good.
This one we get to take home.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Look at that. Quality hatchery.
Okay.
Good job. Right?
Yeah, nice female.
Yep.
Hatchery.
Dorsal, adipose missing, good color, fresh fish.
Probably about 6-7 days out of the ocean.
We have a prop, but we got a roll ball here, okay? You shake it down, you got the bait button there, and you poke it through with your hook, nice and clean. Don't put the hook down here, put it right underneath the knot. Kind of poke that through, come out the other side, and then you can slide it up, meet the bait button there, take another one, put it right, pop it through again, and I lock it in place about right there. So that's what it looks like. It's perfect as you put your bait on this hook. It's going to be resting on the bottom the exact same way. Bait buttons, great product. Mark and Bill, great guys. Now I'll let you guys go back in the action. Ooh, beauty.
Another slide. Good.
That's how it's done right there.
Take the tip of the hook, slide it off in the bait button and pull it on there like so. And we use it because we want to make the bait stay in a certain position. So in order to make it stay in a certain position, we take the bait button, slide it all the way down up until it's touching the bait, and it holds it in position. When that fish comes to bite it, it bites over it. This bait ain't moving. As you can see, I'm pushing on it. It's not going anywhere. The shank of that hook and the tip of the hook is still pointing out, like so. Makes it good for when you're out there trying to just get on the fish and you got loose bait like shrimp or whatever. It helps it stay on.
We're using eel on this one. We're also using goat shrimp. This particular one, we're going to use eel. And I like to split it in half and then fold it around my hook backwards, like this. And then get some magic thread. Wrap it around there. I cut it wide enough. Wrap it up real good. And I like to take and cut another piece. Cut it off. Split it in half. I'll cut this one all the way in half. And I'll cut it down to quarters. And I like to thread it on the hook down here. And I use a bait button. We just got a sturgeon on this eel, and this bait button's still holding. All I gotta do is slide it back down and we're going again.
Let's see it.
The bait buttons. The big game size is typically what I use because it's a bigger hook. I'm running a 7/0 Kale hook. What's nice is once you feed on your whatever it is, your eel, your ghost shrimp, salmon roll balls up here. You just go ahead and feed it on right over. And then this nifty little dispenser here that they put together. Just shake it, bait button will come down. Just take the point of your hook right in the middle. It'll go on. Sometimes it pops off like that. Just push it up and on and around, okay? A lot of times with, depends on whatever bait it is. The roll balls I'll push further up. I generally don't crush the grass shrimp or the ghost shrimp when I use it. But so you can imagine your bait here. A lot of times we'll use this also, the bumper loop, to hold it up. But it's a pretty important piece of my tackle especially. I want to make sure that this whole area is exposed. So when it's laying down there, you get immediate connection and penetration. But I just wanted to show everybody how I run it with the sliding 1/2 ounce to keep the bait on the bottom. But that little piece right there is a pretty vital piece of this setup and making sure that a lot of times you don't get very many opportunities in a day, especially when the water's cold. You want to have that, your bait up away from that point of that hook, and the bait buttons do the job. So good luck, and make sure you got these in your tackle box.
Hey there, Zach Michelson here. We're out in North Dakota chasing after jumbo perch and crappie. And one of the tools in my ice fishing arsenal has been bait buttons. They are absolutely perfect for help keeping live bait onto your lure. All you have to do is take this dispenser, shake it down until the rubber button comes down. Then you just put your hook through the slot and right up to your minnow head, and there you go. I especially love using bait buttons when I'm jigging aggressively for walleyes, with jigging wraps, ripping wraps, or any other aggressive lure. Another tactic I love using bait buttons for is when I'm fishing for crappies or perch in deep water and you don't have to worry about losing your minnow head or any other live bait you're using. So go out and make sure that you add bait buttons to your ice fishing arsenal.
Ernie Marlin here to talk about bait buttons and how it can help you catch more fish. Specifically, when I'm fishing on the California Delta and I'm throwing swim baits for either largemouth bass or stripers, I often use swim baits. You know, this one here is one of my go-to baits. But what happens is that after catching a couple fish, or maybe putting that bait into some weeds or rocks or something, the bait will tend to slide down the hook, and that is not a very good presentation. So an easy solution for this is to use a bait button. There are several bait buttons in this dispenser. So what you do is you just shake it the little bait button falls down into this little hole here, and then it's easy. You just slide this hook through this button, and then it shows up right there. And now I can just slide the bait button down right to where I want it, and now that bait is pegged there and it's not going to move. This will help you catch more fish because presentation matters. Then I drive the hook through the button, and I'm able to peg or pin that bait to exactly where I want it. You just take this bait button and this hook, and you just shake it a little bit, and it starts to slide down. And now the bait button's on there, and now you slide that bait button down, and now your worm is going to stay exactly where you would like it to be, without it actually sliding up and down that hook. First, we want to make sure we keep that bait, that plastic exactly where we want it there, so that it looks a lot more natural, and it looks like something those bass want to eat. So what I do is I take a big game bait button. I want to lock that trailer right in place. It's really easy to do. You just shake the dispenser a little bit, that bait button falls in there. You drive your hook through there, that bait button, and now you slide that bait button down to right where you want it on that bait. And now that bait is not going to slide up and down, and your presentation will be a lot better that way, and you'll catch more fish. Shake it a little bit, or the dispenser, shake a little bit, bait button falls into that little hole. You just drive your hook through it, you put it on your bait, you slide it down, and your bait will stay exactly in place. And now I like to slide that bait all the way up to where the hook is there. If you can see that, it's stuck there, it's lodged, it's not going to move anywhere. So then, drive your hook through there, and now that bait's not going to move. It's perfectly positioned.
What's up, guys? Eric Prey, Table Rock Fishing Intel. I'm going to give you a quick tip on a new little product that I found for putting a trailer hook on a spinner bait, buzz bait, anything like that. It's called a bait button, and it comes in a little dispenser like this, and it's just little rubber discs that you use to hold your trailer hook in place. And you can also use it for holding, soft plastics up on the hook or whatever you want. So you just slide your trailer hook in like that, and then run the hook right up into the little V in the dispenser, and then just slide it right on there, and it pulls right off, and it leaves that little rubber keeper right on there that'll keep your trailer hook in place. This is Eric Prey, Table Rock Fishing Intel, giving you more tips to catch more fish on Table Rock Lake.
So hey guys, we're just wrapping our trip up today, and it's a pretty successful day for being September. We're a little early for our fall winter run striped bass, but I think the key today, drifting our live bait, was the big game bait button for our bigger baits, for our bluegill, and then the smaller buttons for our minnows. So basically this is the big bait dispenser here. The bait on there, especially when we get more into our fall winter, when we're drifting giant golden shiners. They're real active on the end of your hook, and they can wear a hole in their mouth and come off your hook. So with the bait button on there, it helps keep your bait on there all day. So again, key to our success today was making sure our bait always stayed on there today with the help of the bait buttons.
Okay, good morning, you guys. Here on Lake Tahoe, we're going to talk about the success today, what brought in the fish. Today was a tough day. You know, we're on the later half of the full moon, and these fish really respond to that. You know, they eat all night, so you only have about 2 hours, hour and a half window to really get on these fish. And we did that this morning using a different kind of lure. And then once the bite slowed down, we went over to these soft plastics, you know, because we knew that these fish were going to be a little more finicky. And these soft plastics is a great tool to go to once these fish start acting that way. And the key is, you know, get it to the bottom, right off the bottom, and go very slow, where these things are just kicking and it's displacing water, and those fish will detect that. So that's been the key. What we also use today, because the way that these fish are biting down on this single hook is you want to use the bait buttons. And it's very easy to use. The way that we use them, you just hang it upside down, the bait button's going to come out, and you just stick your hook right through it, and then there you go. You'll have your bait button on there. And so why we use that is we used it just to keep our bait down. It did not mess up the action of the soft plastic. You know, it didn't do that. But the important thing of doing that is we want to keep this hook exposed. You know, we're in Lake Tahoe. There's no weeds here. You don't have to worry about going weedless. So when a fish clamps down, you can see instantly he's setting that hook. It's going to go right around his jawline, and he's going to come into the boat. So that was the ticket today. This is a new color that they just came out with. Really deadly, you guys. It's a smaller bait. I believe it's 2 3/4 inch. It's the Fire Crawl. And Strike King, they make this product, you guys. I love Strike King for a lot of reasons. I grew up fishing their product. It catches a lot of fish. A lot of people don't know that you could use some of their soft plastics for trout. And that's what we did today. We caught Mackinaw. Here, we didn't talk about what we're catching. It was Mackinaw. So there you go, you guys. A lot of these colors that they have, it'll work for rainbows, browns, Mackinaw. You can come in here, Lake Tahoe, grab a bag of soft plastics, fish them on the bottom, and get your limits.
Good morning out here fishing for surf perch this morning with these crappie sliders, a little soft plastic bait. What I've noticed with these guys is they tend to slip down in the surf, sometimes covering your hook or making the bait not look proper to the fish, or maybe you get short bits. And what I've found that helps this not happen is the bait button. It's a little disc that slides over this hook and keeps your bait in place. And one of my favorite things that I like about this is this dispenser, because it makes it so easy while we're out here fishing to just secure your bait to your hook, and you're all set.
We're out here on the surf halibut fishing, and I've changed over to this drop shot rig, and I caught a couple fish. And what happens is that after catching a couple fish, your bait kind of gets kind of torn. So then that bait continually wants to slide up and down, and the presentation doesn't look very good. So I don't want to take the time to go into the tackle bag and grab another fluke. So a quick fix, because the bite is happening right now, is to add a bait button to this thing. We're going to put it in 2 different spots here. So this actually saves you some money as well. Keep it right there. put another up on top.